Everybody, welcome to a Session 17 recap of Campaign 4. Last we left off, Jacker was turned into a statue, and the group was really concerned and tried to find, something that could, unpetrify him from the basilisk that we killed. And now there being three members of the party, Durian, who was pretty hurt, stood by and watched Jacker's statue as the other two of the party, Peter and Desperado, run around the statues trying to find something, a potion or somewhat, but didn't discover any items of note, and went into this shallow cave that was next to the waterfall and went inside to go search and see if there was anything there. They go through, Durian's still outside at this point, and they come to a small chamber where there's like a little pool of water and there's some animals, so a bunch of, there's like some giant bats, there's some big badgers, there's some wolf spiders in the corner. They're really scary, and they seem really, really hungry, so they attempt to go eat them. Props to Peter and Desperado, though. They didn't want to kill the animals for just simply being hungry, but they did fight off the bats, killed one, or killed them, and then fed them to the other animals. Keep them at bay, and made some, little shaky peace with them, and then moved on by and went further down a little corridor, and they found this wall of vines that seemed to impede them, with like a mushroom that was like being wrapped by vines, and they're sitting there trying to figure out a way to get through. Back with Durian, it's been about an hour. They've been gone for a little bit, and he decides to go check up on them. Forgot to mention, everyone's passed through this little gray mist wall, and as Durian does, he goes up and finds his friends. He says, "Hey guys, what's going on?" And they hang out and they talk to each other for a little bit, and he cuts open the pathway, and they move on through. They go down this little corridor, little hallway in this natural like cave formation, and they find a little camping spot off to the side with just pollen everywhere from like these mushrooms that are nearby. There's like a campfire and there's some logs. They look like they're still like smoldering, but they weren't like, they haven't been lit on fire in a very, very long time. And so we think maybe we just like miss somebody, or there's some weird fey magic going on. Durian goes, they go check out the tents, maybe get some loot, see what's going on. And a human man pops out, starts screaming at him, kind of like tugging on some like loose fitting armor that seems like he was like inherited or hand me down or just like found off of somebody, and a rapier that he was like shakily pointing at him because we're running up and we're trying to rob this guy of his stuff unintentionally. And we calm him down a little bit, and we talk to him, and we learn that his name is Edward, which is Chris's new character, and that he was here pretty much on a business deal to like kill everything wicked, fallen, or cursed in these caverns for a cure for an ailment he has. So he made a deal with somebody. So we're like, oh, okay, guess that makes sense why you're here. But we start talking to him. We get some details about like how long he's been here, what he's doing here, like what's the layout like, and he just isn't giving us very like coherent or like good answers that connect with each other. So we think that this guy's maybe losing his mind, much like Silverado, who we found earlier at a big like festival. And we think maybe that's just like what happens in the farewell. You stay there long enough, you start losing your mind, your memory, and what have you. But he says he's only been here for a few days, so it can't be that bad, right? But we take him. We say, hey, let's not talk in the scary cave. Let's leave this place, and we try to go back through that mist wall that we entered. And we take like a left turn and a right turn. It was disorienting, and we come back out into another through another mist wall back into the same room. And we were like, okay, is this some like puzzle to get back out? And just so you know, there's like rooms like a box, and there's one entrance here and one entrance there, one on the top, one on the right. And we spend like 20 to 25 minutes of real time trying to get through, and using ropes and trying a bunch of different tricks, walking backwards, closing our eyes, and nothing seemed to work. And we decided to, go back towards Edward's camp and go the only other available way that we got. As we go, we find that there's like this, like a small little nice village. There's like mushrooms that are used as like houses, and there's, some people hanging out. There's three pixies and a red cap guy who, previously, 3 red caps killed two of our prior party members, so they're not like to be messed with. And we like talk for a little bit. They see there's a lot of just like elf meat in the corner, and he said that there was good hunting. And we don't end up, being nice to him. We try to get him to come along and show us some places, but we end up, starting combat, and we get in a fight with these guys. The pixies turn themselves all into giant scorpions. There's some illusory ones. They turn the red cap into a giant scorpion, and we take them out with some javelins, with some, ranged attacks and what have you. But we do learn in this combat that the Edward, the human guy that we found in here, just fully transforms into a werewolf, and it drags a claw against his chest, bleeding, and uses some weird blood magic to deal to him extra cold damage, which is a new development that we'll talk about. We get through the combat. Desperado goes down. Durian thinks about maybe trying to finish the fight, or try to avoid using the last healing potion that they got, but he starts getting worse, and so we just bring him back up. Or actually, it was Peter with a critical success brings it back up, so thankfully we saved that. After the fight's over, we of course question the new werewolf, figuring out, hey man, what's this? What's going on? And he, brings some details that he didn't mention earlier, is that he's trying to cleanse this cavern of everything that is wicked, fallen, and cursed, have them draw their last breath, which was a specific wording, because this is the Feywild, you need to be really specific about your wording, and he will be cured of his curse. But he's cursed. So we tell him that, and he realizes his ordeal that he's in, and there's a brief conversation about if we can kill you and bring you back out, will you be cured or not, and all that stuff. But we kind of leave that to the side because we're still stuck in this place, and we do some classic time shenanigans and ask him, hey, when was the year when you left? And we figure out it's been 7,000 years, which felt like a few days to him. So now we're freaking out that time is passing super quick on the outside of this cavern, and it's going to be really bad when we leave. So we quickly loot our surroundings, get some healing potions, some minor gold and money and what have you. And we take some potions, and we start advancing on the next part of the chamber, which is a giant mushroom tree casting light, like some purple light. And there was a set of double doors, one that was purple, one that was blue, with an inscription at the top of it. And that's where we ended the session. Thank you for joining the recap, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.